Good morning, you guys. Actually, it's not morning at all. It is 8:35 and I'm about to post this video today because I promised that I would do a video every single day. So, I thought somebody was coming in my room. I can hear. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about I don't know. I'm back. My hair is a mess because I went to the gym and then I just put it in like a bun on the back. It looks cute, but from the front it looks crazy. But so we just got back from the gym. I finally came out with what I wanted to talk about today, and we are going to talk about 5 steps to being a better person. This has been like really important to me because I've been trying to be a better person. Just like overall, like that was my New Year's resolution. I said I want to be a better person and more effective in the things that I'm doing. And so that means for me, that means like, well, the more effective part means I just want to be more strategic about what I'm doing, more strategic with like my YouTube channel, with my blog, with my personal life. Like I just want to make sure that I'm being strategic so that, these things don't start to take over my lives. Like these hobbies and the things I love don't start to take over my life, if that makes sense. Because there was a time where my blog was taking over my life. Oh, touching my nose. That's just going to be a thing here. I don't know why. But there was a time where like school and like just everything was, starting to take over my life. But I think that me putting in my New Year's resolution to be more effective just makes more sense. Like being more on top of things. Like I'm already super organized. Well, not over there, obviously, but like with schoolwork and stuff like that. But schoolwork and like blog stuff. But I just want to, let that carry over into my regular life. All that to say, I also wanted to be a better person. And so I've been working on that. Being a better person is harder. It's hard because sometimes people take that as like, oh, I can just like walk all over you, which you don't want either. So like me being a better person is like not allowing people to walk all over me and like standing up for how I feel and telling people how I feel. Like, hey, this wasn't cool. Here's why, and this is how I feel, and let it be that. But being a better person is hard work. And so I think if you are wanting to be a better person, you should do it strategically and make an effort. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote down 5 things to start being a better person today. Like right now, you could do these 5 things. They're super simple. Let's get started. So the first thing is do things with love. So this is pretty easy. It just means that like instead of you complaining about a certain person being a certain way, just be like, okay, this is how you are, but I'm going to love you in spite of this maybe character flaw you see, or maybe they're not the most respectful person or something like that. Just do it in love. Like, just, I don't know how to explain it, but just love them enough to look past that and love strangers enough. Like, say somebody cuts you off, just be like, you know what? I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to have road rage. I'm just going to let this happen and just, be that type of person. Just let the things happen and kind of let it flow off of you. And just, do things in love. So, like, be kind, do acts of kindness. Um, just because you want to be kind, not because you're going to get anything out of it, because most likely you won't. But even with your friends, which kind of flows into number 2, act kinder than you feel. So I know some days I don't feel like being the nicest person, but I always try to make an effort to act kinder than I feel. I always try to, put on a smile and put on a brave face and just be like, you know what, this is what it is, but I'm still going to be kind towards you. Even though you're a crappy person and you're mean to me or whatever, I'm still going to be kind, even if I don't feel like it. And sometimes that's hard. Like, you have to be very intentional about it, I think. And yeah, you're going to have to do things in love and to be kinder. I think it takes effort. Like, you're gonna have to like mentally think about it. So like, say, like, I know for me sometimes I get angry driving, and so what I do now is like I have the first angry thought and I'm like, okay, Tanisha, that wasn't a nice thought, that wasn't kind, let's retract that and be like, you know what, that person maybe cut me off because their wife is having a baby, or they're in a rush or something like that. And so I try to remember, like, my first thought isn't necessarily what I really feel and think. And so I try to make sure that I correct these unkind thoughts and unloving thoughts, right? Right. Number 3, be forgiving. This is pretty easy for me. I'm a super forgiving person. I'll probably give everybody like 50 million chances, which is sometimes hard because people take advantage of that. And so, yeah. What was I going to say? So, yeah, I think that forgiveness isn't necessarily for the person you're forgiving, it's more for yourself. Because when you have to hold on to all that, like negativity and stuff, like it festers in your body. And I feel like negative thoughts or like negativity in general, like if you're holding on to those grudges and stuff, I feel like it affects you, whether you know it or acknowledge it or not. I feel like holding on to grudges it's hard to explain, like, because I don't hold grudges, it's like, it's hard to explain. But I will say that I have in the past, and like, it just made everything else unhappy, like, and I didn't like living that way, so I would forgive that person, and you know what, I was like at peace with it. Like, that's the part I think that is for you. Like, once you forgive somebody, like, you don't have to be mad anymore. You don't even have to deal with that person no more, but you don't have to hold on to those negative emotions. Like, you don't have to keep bringing it up, if that makes sense. Like, when you are when you need to forgive somebody. This is getting rambly. Let's start over. Number 4, well, not start over, but number 4, let's move on, rather. Number 4 is stay humble. Even if you are the bee's knees and you are like the greatest person on earth, you shouldn't, I don't know, I think that you shouldn't act that way or belittle people who aren't at your caliber. I think that you should stay humble and just remember, where you came from, and remember that everybody's chapters in their lives are different. And so you bragging on your one chapter that may be super excellent, isn't all that. And I just feel like you should stay humble about it. Like, be like, oh, this is great, because God honors the humble. Yes. And number 5 is show up for people. I have a dear, dear friend named Elliot, and he always just says that, like, he's just a guy that shows up. Like, he's like, oh, I'm not really a good friend. I just show up for people. And I think that is so important, that for the people you care about and the people in your lives that matter most, you need to show up for them. Even if they don't show up for you, show up for them. Be that person they can depend on. And I think that's so important, because people go through so much, and like a lot of stuff they don't even tell you. So you need to make sure that you're showing up for them and making sure that they know that regardless of what goes on, you're there for them. And I think that's so important for friendship, and just, in general, it's like being kind to people. If somebody needs you to just listen, or just needs you to talk to or something, like, that's so important. Like, it's imperative, like, these days, especially in this, like, I don't care about nothing culture that we live in now. And so those are my 5 steps to being a better person today. And I think that if you do these things, like, people will notice, and like, some people may be like, oh, why are you acting like this? But just be like, I'm trying to be a better person, and leave it at that. And that's what I do. So yeah. So what are some tips that you guys have to be a better person? So leave them below in the comments. I know this video is going up dumb late. I'm so sorry. I was meaning to record this earlier, and I just didn't. So yes, I'm super sorry about that. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about, if I can figure out how to record my screen, I'm going to talk about how I'm organizing my graduate school application stuff. So if not, if that doesn't come out tomorrow, don't be mad, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.